Hey there, everybody. Gideon's Tactical here, doing another knife review for you. And I'm kind of excited for this review. It should be pretty short because it's a pretty basic knife, but this is almost more of giving homage to where homage is due, honor to where honor is due. This is the Buck Hunter 110 folding knife. And this is really the very first knife that started all the different types of pocket knives that you have today, from Spyderco to Benchmade to all the different types of Buck, CRKT, Gerber. I mean, just go down the list of folding knives. This is really where the genesis of all those knives comes into being and where it started. This knife was originally designed in 1962. Prior to 1962, if you had a folding knife, it was basically like a Swiss Army knife. There was no locking mechanism whatsoever, and you just hoped that the blade wouldn't collapse on you. Folders just weren't very popular. If you were out in the woods, you had a fixed blade knife. If you were carrying something on you, it was probably just a little Swiss Army knife, and that was about it. And when Buck came out with this design in 1962, they designed their lockback mechanism that we all know so well, that multiple different types of companies have done, have improved. But this lockback stays the same, the concept through it all. So again, this is the Buck 110 Hunter. I'll give you some specs and then just kind of how I feel about it. This is a really... Again, just classic looking knife. This is made with 420 high carbon steel by Buck, which I've come to find is a very good quality steel that I really like. Very resistant to rust. You can get it wicked sharp, very fast, and will hold its edge for a good amount of time. So I really like the 420 high carbon that Buck produces. This is a 3 3/4 inch blade, so almost a 4-inch blade. It's a pretty heavy, hefty knife. I think you're looking at about 5.5 ounces, 6 ounces for this knife. I mean, it's a heavy-duty folder. Probably wouldn't be carrying this for EDC unless you're out on the farm every day or out in the woods every day. But lockback design, like I said, no wiggle or play whatsoever. Very thick spine. You got this clip point right here. You got the hollow grind. I think this is one of the first knives, that kind of came out with a hollow style grind. And it's not Buck does, I don't know if they do a lot of. I don't know if I'd actually call it hollow. It's almost like a modded hollow grind, so it's a little easier to sharpen than a hollow, but it's still very, very sharp. You got your wood handles, brass stoppers, your lockback mechanism back here. Folds into place. You got your fingernail holder, no thumb studs or anything like that. Locking mechanism is extremely strong. These both come in these. You can get these in either nylon sheaths, which I don't like, or the original leather sheath right here. This is just out of the box. I've owned a couple of these. This is actually going to my father-in-law, but the sheath is great. Made in Mexico, but high quality leather, good belt loop. You can get most normal belts on there. It says 110 on the back. Good stitching, good button. It's not a clip or anything like that. And, the knife itself, when you fold it up, push it in there, it's nice and snug. I mean, you could almost carry it like that if you wanted to. And then, it definitely takes a little work, to get this leather pliable. But there you go. I've noticed that you can, on my model, you can get some cracking right here over time. You might want to put some oil, vegetable oil maybe on this or something like that every once in a while, olive oil, just to lube it up a little bit where the crease is for this leather sheath. So let's just kind of talk philosophy here and what this is really good for. This was designed as a hunting knife, a folding hunting knife for guys. In today's world, this isn't a very practical knife, I'm just going to be honest, unless you're hunting. It's just back in 1962. Wow. This was like the knife to have, and it's a hallmark. It's a classic knife, and this is much more, in my opinion, because of all the other things that are now out there. Back in the day, you didn't have very many options at all, and this was like par above the rest. With today's high tech steels and handles and locking systems and all those different things, this is kind of obsolete, in my opinion. Now this is great. My father-in-law really wants one of these. He's an avid hunter, and for whatever reason, he's just never had one of these. So I'm going to get it engraved and give it to him, and he's going to use it. I know he's going to use it. But this is heirloom quality knife. But just for everyday use, in my opinion, you can definitely do better because there's no texturing whatsoever on the handle. I mean, it's brass and like finished wood, so you have no grip. I mean, it's full. It's nice and thick. It feels great in your hand. The ergonomics are amazing. You know, you can do all the cutting that you need to do. But I mean, if this gets wet, you're not going to get any texturing on here whatsoever. And for deployment, there's no thumb studs or anything else like that. I've seen a couple guys on YouTube who can flick this out. I've tried and tried and tried, and you cannot, you know, like trying to like catch it with your thumb and then flipping it. It just doesn't work for me. You have to have this two-handed deployment to use it. So I mean, really, this is basically if you're a hunter, or if you're out in the woods and you want to take this for some reason, just for a nostalgia's sake, or you just really like a really hefty, good lockback knife, or if you're like on the farm, and you don't mind using two hands to open this, and you're using gloves and stuff, and you're not too worried about slippage, then this is great. Other than that, this is much more like give it as a gift, for someone to maybe just keep in their collection, get it engraved. That's what I'm doing because they're great. I mean, around $40 you can get this knife. And everyone knows this knife, been in tons of movies and TV shows and just different stuff. I mean, just super high quality knife right here. Just in today's world, not very practical in my opinion. When you have like Spyderco with thumb holes that can flip open, G10 handling that's way more textured, pocket clips. Different types of grinds, different types of steels, Kershaw, you got like finger flippers here, again, G10, liner locks, back locks, all sorts of different types of systems. This in today's world isn't very practical in my opinion. So, but aside from that, if you just want it because you want it, or you're like, yeah, I'm going to carry it with me, and I'm an avid like backpacker. This is and you want to prepare food and maybe do some other stuff with it. I mean, this is great, but just know that you're not getting any texturing. You can't flip this open. You don't have a pocket clip. You got to carry it in the sheath. And so, I mean, that's my opinion on it. I mean, again, I got to give honor where honor is due. I mean, this is an amazing hallmark of a knife that started basically all pocket knives, but again. For practical everyday use, I don't really see it. Even the Ranger, which is basically this version, just a little bit smaller. The Ranger 112 is even a little bit more practical just because of the size of this 110. Unless you're a hunter, like all the things I listed, I don't know how practical this knife really is. But again, an amazing quality, super high quality standards, all made in the U.S. And it's just something that's nice to say that you own and have, and if you're backpacking, throw it in your pack, and you'll definitely get good quality, years and years of use, hand it down to your kids, I mean, it's just amazing. So those are my thoughts. Hope you guys enjoy this video. If you've never had a 110, own a 110. You need to, but for everyday practical use, it's not really there. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay equipped, stay prepared. And I'll see you out there.